Welcome, everybody, to the 17th episode of A Grower in the Shower. Right? That's what we're called?
Yeah, I think that was the title we agreed on.
I am your host, Grower. This is Shower. I don't think we ever said, we didn't have other names back in the day, but now I go by Saltonius. And you're still going by your name, Brad Baker, so...
Yeah. Well, I thought about it, and I was like, what better to choose, because that's my name.
Right, exactly.
It's the most accurate way to describe me.
Well, we took about over a year hiatus. Is that how long it's been? Maybe more?
Yeah, we needed some time apart, we were going through some things, really
That's true.
tested our friendship out, but
Yep.
I think that year off from not talking to each other has been good for us.
Okay, I don't think that happened at all, but I appreciate it,
Right.
Well, for anyone who hasn't been here and is just tuning back into the podcast, what's been up in life, Bradley?
Oh, doing a little this, a little of that, a little of everything. Just living my dream over here, living that Florida dream, dude.
Right.
Trying to not getting anything dirty.
Okay,
A lot of dirty people over here.
That's very true. So I know you took your family to Disney this past weekend, or was it? Yeah, this last weekend.
I did, yeah. I wouldn't recommend it.
Really?
Yeah, taking kids to Disney is very difficult. They had a good time, so I guess that was fun. Yeah, a lot of arguing, a lot of fighting.
Isn't your daughter like one?
2. She just turned 2. But yeah,
she was already fighting.
There was a lot of good parents around, I think. So I think if we could have left them there, they would have found it. Okay. And I kept thinking about that, but we ended up taking them back with us.
All right, I like it. Well, on my end, it's been a lot of the same. Still out here in Oklahoma. It's funny because like before the hiatus, I was single and everything, and then I got into a relationship again, reworked on my old relationship, and now I'm single again. So I think this is just meant to be.
Yeah, I didn't even know you were in a relationship, honestly. The way that you were acting around people, like it never really came across the guy in a relationship.
What do you mean the way I was acting around people?
A little creepy, but
Oh, okay.
That was just you, so it was all good.
So I thought we'd have some topics today. Some topics, out of the blue. Other topics we kind of agreed upon, But I thought the first thing we talk about, and I know we didn't really talk about it before, but this Twitch thing we've been kind of doing. I know you've kind of backed away a little bit, but I think this Twitch thing's been a little fun. You can find fun in it when you're not taking it super serious.
Yeah. I mean, I think you've definitely had a better time than I have. But yeah, it's been working out great for you. So
well, I mean, you're more of a busy father that works 10-hour days, so I think it's a little more draining on you to stream than it is for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like playing games, so like it's hard for me to try to like play a game and keep up with people chatting and stuff like that, especially when no one's watching and I'm just trying to sit there and talk. I'm not good at that part, so yeah, I'm probably gonna stream more in the future. Just I'm not gonna do it constantly,
No, I feel it. I mean, it's not for everybody. I was trying to
hold myself to a big schedule, and it was just getting too much.
Yeah, I don't mind the schedule thing. Like I can sit down and I can make a schedule, and I give credit to people who make schedules and stick to it or whatever. But for me, I'd be more available to be like, hey, I'm streaming these days. I don't know when. I don't know what the time will be. It might be 4, it might be 5, it might be 6, or I may not stream. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be held to something that
So basically you're like, hey, listen, y'all ain't gonna know shit. Okay? I may stream, I may not. It may be a Tuesday, it may be a Saturday. It might be 2 weeks from now.
I literally,
it could be tonight.
People will not know that I'm streaming until the go live notification goes out, because it's just been like that. And I don't want the extra stress of having to do that right now. So I'm just gonna free flow it. I'm just gonna enjoy streaming, enjoying the games I'm playing, especially Splitgate, because we have great games, dude. Like there'll be games where I'm like, dang, we're like pros.
Now you have great games. I don't. Well, but I still enjoy playing. Yeah,
you're a pro.
Sometimes I'll do okay. Oh, dude, yeah. I told you, the balls to know what to do.
You're a ball handler. I've always given you props for your ball handling skills.
That's why I'm the shower.
Exactly. But other than that, I mean, I really enjoyed the whole Twitch thing. I've made great connections through it. Really awesome people. So, I enjoy it. I don't know about you, but it's still
Yeah, I
fun.
mean, I'm not telling you to not do it anymore or anything, man. I'm hyping you up. So yeah, keep doing it.
We'll appreciate you. So I thought we could get into. No one else sees it but you, so you're like the only one reacting to it. But I thought we could get into some topics right now.
Yeah, let's do
We'll
it.
switch over to our other screen. Vroom. And yeah, you get a little behind the scenes look of what's going on here. But yeah, let's get into our first topic, and it was the Conor McGregor dissing.
Yeah, you
What
want to
is
read what
this?
he said?
Hide the video. Get out of here.
Yeah. You want to read what he said?
So Conor McGregor targets drunk fat mess Daniel Cormier and deleted tweets
Okay.
questioning
Real
professionalism.
specific.
Oh, did he leave a? You can listen to the articles. That's nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, for deaf people.
Oh,
Bro.
look,
They
and they also know who we are, Brad. Like Cowboys and Tampa Bay fans. Like they already
Yeah,
know.
they're targeting.
So Conor McGregor is at again on social media targeting Daniel Cormier since his loss to
Yeah.
Dustin. Cormier believed McGregor crossed the line in tweets recently directed at Nurmagomedov. And you got to understand, DC and Khabib are friends, or DC's probably better friends with Khabib than Khabib is with DC. But I think that's with every relationship. I think DC is more of a friend with them than they are with DC.
Yeah.
And response.
I also think it's kind of crazy to even go after DC anyways, because he is actually pretty unbiased, even when he talks about those people. So it's kind of crazy that he attacked him.
I agree. It's kind of weird that he even went about it that way. But do you know what started it? Was this the first tweet that started it?
Yeah, there's more though if you scroll down.
So cry for help if I've ever seen one. And I don't understand it because I think DC looks good here. He
just looks awkward.
But he looks awkward, but it's whatever. Cormier responded again on his show by stating, "Don't worry about Daniel Cormier. Don't worry about the things that I'm saying. Don't worry about how I'm dressing and how I'm looking. Don't do that. Worry about the dudes that keep beating your ass every time you go into the octagon." Now that is a diss if I've ever heard one. Because of what?
It's the truth. Yeah.
He's only beat Cowboy recently.
Yeah.
So don't come after somebody when you're not ready for it. So let's see. Daniel Cormier is a fat mess, getting into worse condition day by day. One, he's not fighting anymore, so I don't think that really matters.
And he's always had the same body type.
Yeah, I mean, but because I've been going back and rewatching some of the his light heavyweight fights. Bro, he slimmed down quite a bit for those fights, and then you see him at heavy. Yeah, of course, obviously, but I mean, he looked good. He looked like really good at light heavy. He was just a shorter fighter for both weight classes, honestly. But I don't know this. Showing up drunk at media events the very day before he was in the booth calling my fight. Drunk at media day event, working the day before being a commentator on the biggest fight in history. I don't know that. I don't know about that part.
Even if he did though, this is what kills me. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah,
drunk
true.
The day before, he was supposed. All right, so they go to this fight. Where was that fight? Was it in Las Vegas?
The Poirier?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Vegas.
So he goes to Vegas. He's in Vegas, okay? Who gives a shit that he was drunk the day before?
Very true.
Like he was wasted when he was working.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what it doesn't make sense to me.
It is a sackable offense for a commentator to be drunk at press work the day before commentating the big fight. Dreadful. Get it together. Belching in the mic at a press event. And all what the fuck. The day before commentating the big fight. Is this guy serious? Disgraceful. Which I didn't even see clips from this. Like, I didn't even see this until Conor was talking about it.
Yeah.
Your back situation is just mental too. Your weight and way of life is abysmal, and now drunk at work the day before you commentate a McGregor event. Pitiful. Congrats, John, on his head kick KO and an anniversary over you. Good always defeats evil. Wasn't sure you were evil. Fakes. That's all whack. Like, that's all whack.
Yeah.
I'm burping because Laura Senko and I just freaking shotgunned beers in the back for the championship of our weigh-in show, Cormier told the media in attendance. I've been feeling like I needed to vomit for the last 30 minutes. If Cormier showed up to work inebriated, McGregor's complaints would be valid concern about his professionalism. However, this is not the case here. As part of Cormier's on-air duties during the weigh-in show, consumption of alcohol is one of the activities that took place. So yeah, I don't even see how that can come into to play here. I can assure everyone he wasn't actually drunk. DC is a funny guy. He was having fun. He's twice my size. We drank the same amount just as fast, well, almost, and I was fine. He was joking around. He's a true professional on all levels, which I'm sure. And this is the one I first saw when everything happened, like, because I follow DC. So this was the first tweet I saw when everything was happening was, we can't fight. It's all just talk. So stop. Thank you for watching. Get help. Win a fight. Which is true.
Also,
he needs to win.
Also, it ain't like him and DC are ever going to fight in an octagon. So it's not even like hyping up a fight or anything.
No, it's not.
And two, here's the thing. Conor McGregor would get fucking destroyed.
Oh, yeah.
DC. It wouldn't even be a close fight.
100%.
DC would destroy him. It doesn't even make sense that he would not want to fight DC. Like, no. It doesn't even make sense.
Well, if you really get into it, Conor McGregor has never done well against wrestlers. Ever. Like, that's been his worst opponent every time. Like, even
especially a wrestler that has 100 pounds on him.
For sure. But look at even the Chad Mendes fight. Sure, he won that fight, but you could say that he lost a few rounds of that fight because Chad Mendes was working him. You know,
he was laying on him. I mean, I would exclude that fight because but it was harder for him. But that was one of like the most entertaining championship.
Oh, 100%. It went all 5 rounds. Like it was an amazing fight. No, 100%.
And he still knocked him out. So
no, I agree.
But you're right. I mean, obviously he's not as strong on the ground.
No, he's never been strong on the ground.
Excluding him in his prime, him now, it doesn't matter. Even in his prime, it doesn't even make sense to go after DC. DC would destroy him.
Mm-hmm. No, DC
would rip his arms off.
And I also think double champs should have respect for each other. Like they both know the grind it takes to become a double champ. Yeah. Like, I don't know, McGregor, I feel like he's at the stage in his career where, like, I hate to say it, but this is probably you can go out on top and you can go out as a legend. And I feel like he's not going to because of his antics leading to his demise. Like, I feel like he's just going to keep doing this where it's just going to be like, oh, I don't have any respect for Conor anymore. And people aren't going to see him as like, not the GOAT because John Jones is the GOAT, but like
it doesn't matter. The whole thing with Conor McGregor, the problem is like, I've always loved Conor McGregor because he was entertaining. But like recently, it's not entertaining because he's not saying anything funny anymore.
Yeah, true.
Like he used to be so quick-witted and like how his
get the red panties.
Like, yeah, it was hilarious and it was awesome, and especially because he was talking about shit and he was backing it up. And there's still you don't necessarily even have to back it up to be a good shit talker. You look at Chael Sonnen, that dude got destroyed all the time and would lose and they call out a champion right afterwards, and like he would be hilarious right afterwards. Like if you remember when he lost to
American Bad Boy.
Oh yeah, but when he America's Gangster, when he lost to Anderson Silva.
Yeah, but he almost won.
He did, yeah, but Anderson Silva got him in that triangle. But when it was done, he was like, well, I was just confused about the rules. I thought if I tapped that round and I would still be up 4 rounds to his 1. So it was not, I didn't lose. It was just a lack of understanding of the rules. That was hilarious.
No, that is.
But Conor McGregor is just like, now he's targeting fucking Poirier's wife, and he posted
that was
a picture
dumb.
The worst too, he posted a picture of Poirier with his daughter. It was like shit like that, and like he was targeting his kids or something, and then he came out and said this shit about Khabib's father and stuff. It's not funny shit talk anymore.
No, it's not.
It's just him staying relevant the only way he possibly can. And I don't know if it's a smart or bad decision on his part. I mean, people are going to tune into his fight still because they want to see him get his ass kicked.
I think so.
Whether he wins or lose. And I think he knows that. But it's going to, I don't know. I just think it's dumb. He's coming after everybody, and like he's losing every battle this time. He's usually so quick-witted, but he can't really talk shit because he's losing everything.
No, for sure. And like you were seeing it in the press conferences this time. And you've seen it before, but the times where he like loses an exchange of words, he goes quiet. He just doesn't say anything. He'll just sit there and be quiet. He doesn't. Oh,
and Poirier hit him with that Conor McGregor sleep shit. Yep. I died. Well, I think the biggest thing, what he should have done, is what he didn't do. When he came out, when he lost that fight, he could have still said, "I didn't really lose that fight," and people would have been.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Understanding. he could have still talked shit to Dustin Poirier,
Yeah.
but saying some shit about his wife and stuff was stupid. He could have came out and said, "Listen, it doesn't matter whether I was losing that round. I was getting to the second round, and that's when I was gonna put my game plan together and knock him out, and I broke my leg." No one would have. Okay,
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the Michael Chandler Justin Gaethje presser that they had, but
yeah,
Michael Chandler even brought it up. He said it himself. He was like, "Yeah, everyone's gonna say that Dustin Poirier would have worked him," but he's like, "Look at my fight. I was winning that fight.
oh,
I
destroyed.
almost had him knocked out, and he
He was
came
in
into
8 round 2.
yeah, and he came into the second round and knocked me out."
Yep.
He's like, "So for everyone saying that Conor lost that fight, you're wrong."
It's dumb. Yeah, it's dumb to say. He lost because of the TKO doctor stoppage covered his leg. But the problem is now, because of how he angled it, is people are like, "No, you got your ass beat."
Exactly.
And he could have approached that a whole different way, and he could have still talked shit to Poirier and hyped it up and all that stuff.
And I don't think the shit talking after that, like, I don't, because of how it went down, right? Because of how he broke his leg and everything, and the emotions. I'm not gonna say I like get why he went after his wife, but I can almost forgive it because I get what he's doing. You know,
Yeah.
he's
Well,
like,
also
in your mind,
it was pretty awesome that he was doing all that shit talking.
Exactly.
His leg was broken in half.
And I think in his mind, he's like, oh, my career's over. I bet you immediately you're like, oh shit, when can I ever fight again? This is probably it. So I think he's such a businessman. He's like, I gotta keep the hype going. I gotta keep it going.
I'm not even more saying, even in the ring, you can exclude even the shit where he was like, your wife was in my DMs.
Yeah.
You can exclude that. Okay, that's not even too bad to say. But afterwards, where he was still talking shit about his wife, and then when he posted that, when he posted that picture of Poirier and his daughter, I was like,
yeah, that was
stupid,
whack.
Man.
That's super whack.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I don't know.
And also,
I don't
there's
go
no
after
reason
family.
he doesn't. He also shouldn't go. He shouldn't keep coming after Khabib. It's stupid.
I agree.
It doesn't make sense. Khabib's fucking retired. Like, he's not going to fight you. And if you ever seen him in the street, he wouldn't say that same shit to Khabib, because I promise you, Khabib would fuck him up.
Exactly. Do you see Khabib is just signed a soccer contract?
No, I didn't even know he played it.
Yeah, he loves soccer. He like always wanted to be a pro soccer player. So he I don't remember where it's at, but I think he just signed like a contract to play some soccer. So
it's gonna be a violent fucking game.
Yeah, dude, that's what I was thinking. I was like,
you come up to him with the ball,
yeah,
just goes pressing the leg.
That's exactly what I was thinking. All right, so with that, I guess we'll get right into the power rankings of the UFC, and we can kind of just break down the top 5 of all the important weight classes and everything like that. But let's get over there. I'm not going to go down the pound for pound because I'm not completely in agreement. I love John Jones, but he's not the best right now. Flyweight. Now, this is an interesting weight class because I think outside of the top 2 guys, you don't have a lot of people who can beat these two. Brandon Moreno, I love him, and I know you're a big fan as well. Came out, won it. He almost won that first fight, and then just got beaten, obviously.
I like him a lot, but I don't think he's going to be a dominant champion.
I don't think he's a 5 title defense holder.
Now, Figueiredo, how do you pronounce his name?
I just say Figgy.
Yeah, Figgy. He wants the rematch. I don't think he's going to win. I mean, I think
they deserve the trilogy.
The first one obviously was a no contest. I mean, it was a draw for a reason. And then the second contest, it just showed he was the bigger fighter. I mean, realistically, you could have given that first fight to Moreno. I did. I just don't think he wins a third one. And I get why he wants the trilogy, and he should get it. I just don't think it should be as quick as they want. I think he should have to defend that title at least once, and then Figgy go after him. So. Okay,
I agree. The only person even close, I believe, is Asgard to maybe even coming up against a title defense. There's no one really in the flyweight division that I see being a champion right now outside of these two.
Yeah,
that's just me personally.
Right
now, this is probably one of the most controversial weight classes as of right now, because the bantamweight, because we have Aljamain Sterling as the title, undeserved champion right now. Yeah. Obviously, Peter Yan was destroying him 4 rounds to none.
Yeah, that's another one though. The thing that kills me is he could still be. He wouldn't be so hated if he didn't act the way that he did.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
And co-
you won. You won because of a DQ.
and his
Okay, it was an illegal
braggadocious
knee.
attitude afterwards is crazy.
Yeah, it was like, and then he was like, "Oh, Jan's gonna have to fucking
Win a
show he
fight.
deserves it." Yeah, no, he doesn't.
Yeah, no, he
He
doesn't.
beat the shit out of you. No, he doesn't. Like he deserves. If anybody in the history deserves an immediate rematch,
It's Peter Yan.
Peter Yan. Yeah, he deserves an immediate rematch.
Yeah.
It's bullshit that that he wouldn't. And even Dana was like, "No, you're fighting him."
Well, even
he's like, "You ain't getting around this."
even TJ's like, I'm waiting. One, because of his recovery, he has to recovery. He has like what, a 6-month recovery ahead of him minimum. But apart from that, TJ's like, yeah, I'm waiting for Peter Yan Sterling, which they finally announced is going to happen, to fight.
Well, I think that's because everybody also knows, like, hey, we're not, like, you're not going around this. Like Dana said, you're fighting Peter Yan. Everybody knows Peter Yan deserves that championship fight, and that's why I don't think anybody's even trying to dispute that. Because everybody still looks as Peter Yan as the champion.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Everyone who's an MMA fan of the UFC, it's Peter Yan right now.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen anybody that truly supports Sterling at this point.
I really haven't. If anything, it was crazy because people were defending him in the beginning, like, oh, you don't know what it's like to take a knee to the head, and now they're like, oh, okay, bro, like
now you're overdoing it. Yeah, no, fuck that.
But to break it down a little bit, let's just go through it. So you have Peter Yan, who's immediately going to get his rematch. I think Peter Yan wins without a doubt. I don't think Aljamain Sterling gets to even a round on him.
Here, I will say that Sterling's still a great fighter, and there's still a chance that he could win. I mean, he was the number one contender for a fucking reason.
Well, he beat Corey Sandhagen by rear naked choke,
did.
but also that's one of those fights where I think Sandhagen was winning.
Corey Sandhagen was winning that fight.
Yeah.
He just got caught in a submission.
Yeah.
You know, which is, it doesn't matter. He still lost. So I mean, but either way, that's me saying like Sterling could win. I don't think he will. And Sterling deserves to be top 5 without a doubt. He's still a great fighter,
bro.
But I don't think that he beats. I don't think he beats Corey Sandhagen again. I think TJ Dillashaw would destroy him.
Well, that's why I was about to go. That's
why
I was about to go down. It's like he doesn't beat Peter Yan. He doesn't beat Dillashaw. He doesn't beat Sandhagen. Rob Font's coming out strong right now after that Cody Garbrandt fight. Like his striking looked elite. Jose Aldo is trying to make a comeback. Like he's had some good fights.
He is. I mean, he's doing a great job. His last fight, he was great. I think that in the top 5, the only person he stands a chance with is Jose Aldo.
I agree.
But
and that's just because of age.
I don't even know if he beats Jose Aldo.
So yeah, I don't think he's a top 5 fighter. That's what I'm getting at.
I think he beats Cody definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I think Cody's washed. I'm gonna be real.
I think he beats Edgar.
Yeah,
he beats Pedro. I think he beats anybody else in the top 10.
For sure. I don't. This
I don't
would be.
think Dominic Cruz deserves to be top 10 anymore.
I don't either. But I think this is the fight I'd like to see for Sterling after his loss. You know what I mean? Because that's the level of fighting I think he's at. I want to see him
fight Corey Sandhagen again. That's what I wish would happen.
That would be sick.
I want a rematch with Corey Sandhagen.
I think if I'm the UFC, I'm putting Rob Font against Corey Sandhagen.
That's a great fight, though.
That is a great fight. I think
I want to see Dillashaw and Aldo too. I think would be.
Yeah, that would be pretty dope. But moving on to the featherweight, we have Alexander. I always mess. Yeah, which we already know that Brian Ortega and him are fighting here soon. Even though Max Holloway is the number 1 contender. That's just because of the what's the show called? The UFC show that they're coaching on.
Yeah.
The Ultimate Fighter. Yeah. So, I think
he wins that. Volkanovski wins.
You think so? I think Brian Ortega can take it.
No, I think Volkanovski wins that. I think Max Holloway still has. I still think he can be champion. I'm not sure. I mean, the problem with Max Holloway, this is the only issue that he has, is he's a great boxer. Like he's an amazing striker. Like probably better than anybody in that top 5. But the problem is
top 5 in the UFC.
Yeah, but he has absolutely no knockout power.
None. He can just keep pressing you.
Problem.
And also his ground game isn't the best. I'm not saying he's lacking there, but he's not dominating anyone in the top 5 with his ground game. You know what I mean?
Again, the reason his ground game is also not going to stack up against him is because he's not a strong guy.
True.
Getting him down's hard, but I think once you get him there, he doesn't have the power that these other guys have.
But with that, I think Yair Rodriguez is coming for their throats. He's had
Yeah.
some great fights. He's jumping up the ranking super quick, and I think he's coming for their throats. And if he improves just a little bit more, we could probably see Rodriguez as the champion soon. I think he has it in him.
I agree with that.
He's just an exciting fighter to watch. His spinning elbows, like he's just super exciting to watch. And then everyone else in the weight class, yeah, it's whatever. I'd like to see Barboza. I think he's.
Well, I know he's get past it.
I know he's fighting soon. Hold on, let me see. Yeah. He's fighting. I can't say it. I can't say the name, but you know, this guy.
Well, I know we skipped past it, but what do you think about Sean O'Malley? I just forgot his name.
Is he not even ranked yet?
He's not ranked.
Really? I didn't even notice that.
But, I mean, people are talking about him right now because he's not fighting ranked fighters when he's not ranked.
No,
he came. Basically, he's like, I have a couple more fights, and then my contract is up, and then I can get a real contract. He's like, I get paid the same amount whether I fight Peter Yan or I fight a number 20.
No, true.
Like,
I'd like to see him fight Yusuf. If he comes into fighting a top 15, give him that fight immediately. Because I think that's
he's
actually
not in class. Yeah, he's bantam.
Well, he's called out Dominic Cruz.
He's called out Dominic Cruz, which I think would be a great fight to watch. He's called out Cody Garbrandt. I mean, if people are giving him a bunch of shit though, just because he's not fighting these fighters, and I don't think that they should. I think that he is working his way up the correct way. I always equate what he's doing right now. I equate it to because he just has a lot of star power. I always equate it to Darren Till.
True.
Darren Till was going through a tear, but the problem is they just threw him to the top 5 like that. They gave him this huge jump.
He wanted it too. He wanted it.
I know he did, but the problem is he didn't have the ring experience to go against Tyron Woodley. That's who he fought, right?
Yep.
Tyron Woodley won for a reason. He didn't have that ring experience to go against him. He didn't have those fights under his belt. And I think that if he would have taken the time and fought more of the unranked fighters on his come up, he would probably be doing a lot better right now.
I agree.
And I think that's where Sugar Sean's at. I don't think Sugar Sean should go straight to fucking, Peter Yan.
Oh, I agree. I think the Dominic Cruz fight, as much as I like Dominic Cruz, I think he needs to retire.
Dominic Cruz washed up, and I think but Sugar Sean would destroy him.
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
Especially after watching his last fight.
I think it was awesome he won his last fight. But
in his last fights, let's be real, he was fighting prelims.
Yeah, I was about to say he was the main prelim, which is cool.
Yeah, it's cool if you're,
a fan watching. No, if you're a fan watching UFC, you get to see, even good undercards. But yeah, to see a top, because he was like ranked higher than that too, wasn't he?
Who?
Dominic Cruz? Or was he lower?
He was lower. He went to top 10 after he.
Well, even still, it's weird to see a ranked fighter like that in an undercard. But outside of Cody Garbrandt and Dominic Cruz, because I think he would beat both of them. I'm just going to be real with you. I think they would probably give him Vera or Rivera, honestly. Like those.
They're actually talking about right now him fighting Frankie Edgar.
Oh, man, I feel bad for Frankie, dude. He just needs to retire too.
Yes, and that's where they're giving him the correct top 10 fighter if he fights him.
See, Frankie's not good against these fighters anymore. Look at how Corey Sandhagen just worked his ass. And I get the fight wasn't very long because he knocked him out with that knee. But
I'd also, honestly, dream matchup too. I would love to see Sugar Sean and because Sandhagen's great, but Sandhagen's so good because he's got so much reach on all these fighters.
That's true. He's so tall.
Fighter, but he's so much bigger than they are. Well, he's not bigger than
a 5'11" fucking bantamweight. Yeah, I know.
Sugar Sean's fighting at 145, but that dude,
he's 5'11".
He's probably walking around at 60.
No, for sure. And I think they're probably around the same height. Corey Sandhagen is probably 5'10", 5'11". So which is very, for anyone who doesn't know the UFC, that's very big for bantamweight. That's a very.
These guys are 145 pounds.
Yeah, that's very tall.
Most of them are like 5'6", 5'7", tall in 5'9". But 5'11", that's why he's so Sandhagen's so hard to beat. That's why honestly, if he didn't have as much reach, I know it was a super close fight and it could have gone either way. But if he didn't have as much reach on Dillashaw, I think Dillashaw would have very easily beat him.
True. So let's get into the next 4 weight divisions, which these 3 have their next opponents. We thought Oliveira had his opponent, but Dustin Poirier is talking about fighting Nate Diaz, so whatever. But to start with Oliveira, this is another exciting weight class because I think that anyone, now that Khabib's gone, I think that anyone in this top 5, in this top 5 can get it.
Besides, I don't think
him.
Oliveira beats Poirier. I think he could beat Gaethje. I definitely don't think he beats Dariush. I think he would lose that. Obviously, he beat Michael Chandler.
And I think he does beat Dariush.
I don't think he will, and I definitely don't think he's going to beat Islam.
No, I think Islam's on his way to become the next champion. But no, the only reason why, if I like Beneil and he's an awesome fighter, one, he already said he's taking like 9 months off or whatever, so he's not going to be fighting for a while regardless. But
we have Gaethje versus Chandler now, which is going to be a fucking awesome fight.
And then I'm
gonna give that right now to Chandler. I think Chandler's gonna win.
Probably
just because I think that Gaethje's gonna do nothing but exchange with Chandler, and I think Gaethje doesn't have the knockout power.
Did you watch the full presser between them?
I didn't watch the full. No.
It was super weird. I will say, Michael Chandler, he's like a commentator now, and he's kind of always been like that. That's why he's been in commercials before he was even in the UFC. You know what I mean?
Great talker.
Yeah, he's a great talker. He's a handsome man. He carries himself well. Yeah, exactly. But Michael Chandler was just he was like commentating for that fight card or whatever, as well as being the main card for it. But he's talking and he's like trying to ask Gaethje questions, and Gaethje's like kind of being a bitch, dude. Like he's kind of like, yeah, I just don't fucking like your face, dude. Like, and Chandler's like, bro, we didn't have any problem.
Gaethje's fun to watch, and everybody like hypes him up and stuff, but I don't think that he's championship material. No. I think anybody that thought he was gonna beat Khabib is crazy.
Yeah, I mean they set that. It's already been talked about. Khabib already came out and said it. Khabib set that fight up as his retirement fight. Like Gaethje, sure, he won his interim belt. He had to earn that. Don't get me wrong, but Khabib wanted that. He wanted Gaethje to get into that position.
The only person in the top 5, top 10 that I think had a chance to beat Khabib would have been Oliveira.
Yeah, I agree. And Islam, but they're not fighting.
Yeah. But I say Oliveira just because he's so good on the ground. But Gaethje is what I was gonna say too. Is like I know people like him and stuff, but I don't like his personality.
I like his fighting attitude, as in like I like to watch him fight. But other than that, yeah, I don't like his life attitude. But moving into the welterweight, once again, another exciting weight class with all these fighters coming out. You have Usman at the top, who's as dominant as can be right now. More dominant than Khabib was, more dominant than, a lot of these fighters. He's going for GSP's record, right? With this next win, he gets it.
And he's got to get, the problem is too, he's got to get past Colby. And a lot of people are talking, like to talk about Colby because he got his jaw broken, which, he didn't really, but that's what the whole thing is.
Yeah, it's not like he got his shit wired shut.
Yeah, it didn't actually get broken, but either way, people are talking shit about it. But they don't. It kills me is he had that injury. What, the first round?
First or second round, yeah. And then he went the rest of the fight.
And then he put it on Usman for 2 rounds after that with his jaw fucked. Then the 5th round was still close. I mean, Kamaru definitely won that round even before the TKO, but it was one of the toughest fights that Usman's ever fought. So
a lot of the talk you hear are from non-watchers. They're clip watchers. That's what they are. They didn't sit there and watch the 5-round fight.
5-round. That's one of the best fights I've ever watched.
100%. So when you look at clips of that fight, you're like, yeah, Covington got beat the fuck up. Like, look at his face. Look at all the highlights. Like, Usman put it on him. And then you watch the fight and you just realize that that's not the case. Don't get me... Covington won a round as well, so like you got to remember that.
Well, no, Covington won 2. It was 2 rounds. 2 and 2 going into the 5th round, yeah. But also, Usman did have that fake nut shot too.
Yeah, true.
If you remember, because they even slowed it down and like kicked him, and like he said that he got hit the nuts, and they were like, "You didn't get hit." He got kicked in the thigh clearly. which was bullshit. But whatever, he won.
So I want
And
to
I
talk.
like Usman. I think that Usman wins that fight, but I don't think I wouldn't put 100% on that. I think it could go either way.
Yeah, so I want to talk about a couple fighters in this weight class before we move on, because this weight class is amazing. Obviously, we just had the fight between Gilbert Burns and Stephen Thompson. Love Stephen Thompson. He's at the end of his. He's almost 40 years old. He's still a great fighter, and he's still going to have some wins under his belt. But I don't think he's championship material. I'm just going to be
I
real.
want to see him. I don't know. I still want to see him fight Usman.
Sure, but I just don't think he's going to get it in him. One, because Gilbert Burns had just fought Usman, right? That was the last fight before Jorge, was Gilbert Burns fighting Usman. And Gilbert Burns almost knocked Usman out. Like, if you look back to that first round, Gilbert Burns almost knocked him out. Usman's just got a chin on him. And good for him, because if that was any other fighter, I think he would have won.
Gilbert Burns didn't take the risk that he took with Usman with Stephen Thompson.
Exactly, and that's what I wanted to talk about.
He was smarter about it because he knew stand up, he was not going to beat.
And that's what I wanted to talk about. I think Gilbert Burns' ground game is as good, if not better, than Usman. And as long as he works on his boxing and striking, he's going to be a contender. He's still young, dude. We're going to see him again.
Clearly has been working on it as well. So.
And then obviously the winner of the Colby Covington Usman fight is going to see Leon Edwards, which we've all been waiting to see.
Leon Edwards either fighting Gilbert Burns or Jorge Masvidal.
I think that's all based on.
I think the Jorge Masvidal fight happen.
Here's my thing with that. I think if I'm Leon Edwards, I'm saying no. It's like, bro, I waited. I did your fights. I did everything that I needed to do to get to the championship place, and here I am. Like, I'm not waiting any longer.
The problem was the Nate Diaz fight. Even though he completely destroyed Nate Diaz,
he almost get knocked out in the last 10 seconds.
No, he didn't. He didn't get knocked out.
I said almost get knocked out. Yeah.
I know. I'm just saying it put doubt in people's minds, and they're like, "Oh, well, he can't stand up with these guys." Nate Diaz almost knocked him out. Like, he destroyed Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole time. And I think he destroys Masvidal. I think he beats Gilbert Burns too.
Yeah,
I think he's a good technical fighter. That he's not knocking anybody out, but I think that he could beat them. I don't think he beats Usman.
True. And Luque is making his come up in the rankings, so he'll be exciting to watch in that. Everyone else below it, including Stephen Thompson, don't get me wrong, I like him, but I don't think it's championship material. Other than that, I don't see anyone else in the weight class making a run for that top three.
Only people you have to kind of the one person you have to keep in mind that's not on this list is Kazmat.
Yeah, true. So,
we haven't seen him fight a top 10 yet, but he's getting a jump. Like, he's fighting one of these guys.
Yeah.
And he all in all looks like such a well-rounded fighter. He looks like a Khabib with better striking.
Sure.
So
I mean, that's what Islam looks like too.
Yeah, he's strong. He's big. He can wrestle. I mean, he's got knockout power. I think he's a problem for any of those. But now that's also, we haven't seen him fight a top 10 fighter, so who knows when he actually gets in there.
Yeah. So moving over to the middleweight, obviously you have Adesanya as the champion. It's already in the works that he's gonna.
Other than Whitaker will beat Adesanya.
I'm sorry?
I don't think anybody in the middleweight division other than Whitaker has a chance to even beat Adesanya.
No, I think Whitaker is the only person that
has the biggest chance.
Not even only has the biggest chance, but he's the only one that I think can win a round against him. I don't think any of these other fighters went around. Costa got worked. We'll see. I don't really know how he is as a fighter yet, as like a top 5 fighter. Vettori worked. Brunson's gonna get worked. Darren Till would be cool to see. I think that would he'd put it on him.
He said, I want to fight Darren Till.
And then Sean Strickland, but we'll see how Sean Strickland, because they're matching him against
did really good against Uriah Hall. But
yeah, he did. But who did they say they're putting up against?
Rockhold.
That's right, Luke Rockhold. And he's not even ranked, is he? Yeah.
He hadn't fought in years. And who knows? Luke Rockhold was the champion. He was very good, but I mean, his chin hadn't held up, so who knows?
That's true.
I don't think he has the striking skill to fight a Adesanya.
Yeah, I don't think there's much to be talked about this weight class. We'll see how the Robert Whitaker fight goes, and we move on from there.
Yeah, I just don't see the Rockhold beating Izzy, Whitaker, Costa.
No. I agree. But if we move over to the light heavyweight, we have another Jan.
Probably the most, honestly, right now, other than Yuri, Probably one of the most boring divisions right now.
Yes, I would agree. Yeah, Yuri's fucking so exciting to watch. And
Yuri's really exciting. I agree with that, but I don't think. I mean, look at the other fighters. I mean, Thiago's okay. Dominic
Glover
Reyes.
Teixeira is
I mean,
fun to watch. He's gonna brawl with
yeah,
you, you know.
yeah, he will, but I just don't. I don't see him beating you. I think Yuri's going to be the champion. I don't think.
I agree.
I don't think Jan. Yuri.
Well,
I mean,
Yuri's
Dominic Reyes. I know he's 5, but that dude. I mean, he's looked like shit the past. I mean, few years. I mean,
Yuri's doing it exactly. Yuri could have came into the UFC with a title shot already. Like they've already talked about that. He's already been a champion in 2 out of the divisions. You know, he just was like, forget it. I'm going to come into the UFC and prove it to everybody. And that's what he's done. Like you had
the first light heavyweight fighter that I've seen in a long time that I think could have beat John Jones.
I agree. I think, yeah, I agree. Like the way he fights and his style is so John Jones-esque, and sometimes it looks better than John Jones.
Well, it's John Jones, but with more power. I mean,
Yeah.
John Jones has never really had knockout power. He just would pepper you.
That elbow to Dominic Reyes to knock him out, dude, was nasty, dude. It was so nasty. But yeah,
that's why I said that's the only person I could have seen beating him. But I think he definitely beat John. But I don't see. There's not really a ton of exciting talent. There's a lot of talent. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying exciting fights.
There's not a lot in here.
My least favorite right now.
True. I agree. So moving on from that, you have the heavyweight, which is going to be one of the more exciting weight classes coming up. You have Ngannou as your champion. Obviously, Gon just won against Derek Lewis, which I knew was going to happen. I love Derek Lewis.
Know it was going to happen just because of Derek Lewis. And here's what I'll say about this, though. What kills me. Derek Lewis was this big fan favorite, and now people are like, "Look at him! See, he ain't talented. He ain't shit."
No, the moment
about all these other people he's knocked out. What are you talking about?
The moment I knew he was going to lose was when he first talked about it on Joe Rogan's podcast. He's talked about after his last fight, his testosterone has been low. And it's even with HGH, it takes a while to get your testosterone to the level it was before, especially for a Derek Lewis fighter. Now, if you look at that fight against Gon, it showed he didn't have that explosiveness in him to just go after the fighter like he usually does.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that the problem with Gon he does not move like a heavyweight.
No, for sure. He moves pretty quick, but look at Derek Lewis's fights. When he's being outperformed, what he does is he swarms you. He just will swarm you, and he tried, and he just didn't have the explosiveness that he usually has against fighters.
I understand. I still don't think, though, even if he did, I don't think he had the skill.
Oh no, I think he loses. Yeah, I think he loses no matter what.
Another hot take on it. I think Gon beats Ngannou. After watching that fight, I think he definitely beats Ngannou.
Well, I've been saying this at work for a while, and people think I'm crazy, but they used to be like sparring partners and stuff back in training. And if you go watch those videos, Gon pieces him up. I'm not saying that, obviously it's sparring. So
Francis Ngannou obviously has a lot more knockout power.
Yeah.
He can't be touched.
But like,
the problem is, I don't think he's going to touch Gon.
Exactly. Gon was doing so good at just slipping all of Ngannou's punches and then still just piecing him up, which I'll be real. That's probably the most. I was excited for John Joe's Ngannou, but I think I'm more excited for Gon Ngannou.
Yeah, and I think John Jones and Gon would be an amazing fight.
But didn't they say they want to try and get John Jones against Stipe?
That's what they're saying, yeah. But I mean, John Jones basically still. I don't.
He's
know
just not fighting, dude.
Yeah.
Notice he's not in any other weight classes. You know what I mean? Like he's not fighting. So it sucks. And then outside of that, like there's some cool fighters. You're gonna get Curtis Blades versus Rosenstruik here soon.
Fun fight.
And then other than that, it's just a lot of like I like the Tom Aspinall dude. He has another fight coming up soon. He's got some knockout power, and I think his curly hair and porn mustache are just funny to watch. But other than that, I'm not super excited about anything.
Yeah, I'm just excited to see, for one, the top 5 in this division is so stacked.
I agree.
Like again, I think Ngannou, Stipe. I mean, what happens with him? I mean, if he fights Ngannou for a third time, does he lose that fight? Who knows? I think Stipe can make the adjustments. I think Stipe beats Derek Lewis.
Well, he said he needs to just put on more weight, and we'll see.
I think that the Gon definitely beats Stipe.
Yeah.
But It's just because Stipe is such a good boxer.
So let's
You
move
know,
into these two women weight classes because honestly, we don't have to talk about bantamweight and featherweight. We can touch on it, but Amanda Nunes is the GOAT. She's not losing anytime soon. That's just my personal opinion.
she's a fight, but other than that, she ain't fought in a while.
She hasn't fought in a while, but it's hard to set up a fight against her. Nobody wants to fight her. The only
Well,
person
it's also crazy there's no interim belt right now.
and the only person that's even close to being able to fight her is Valentina. But Valentina wants her to drop down a weight class, and she's not going to do that. So she's just too big. Amanda Nunes is too big to try and drop down to fucking flyweight. Like, it ain't going to happen. But you have the strawweight division with Rose Namajunas, and
Nunes,
with
Wei
Zhang.
Li.
I think that deserves a rematch.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it deserves an immediate one like she's talking about. I think Wei Li got knocked the fuck out, and she's
Yeah, but it's one of those knockouts where it was so early, we didn't see any fighter dominating. You know what I mean? Like, it was one of
I
those.
think Rose. She was definitely the better fighter.
Oh, bro,
Even before that,
dude, it's
and
gonna.
then she knocked her out. I think that Wei Li. I mean, I don't think everybody deserves an immediate rematch. I mean, Wei
True.
Li probably maybe she
The
fights
on-
another fight.
The only
Goes
reason
fights
why
another-
she deserves an immediate rematch to me, personally, is because Wei Li, Joanna was the best women's fight of all time. So to see that, one of the best fights of all time, you know?
I just don't like how Wei Li acted after the fight.
Yeah, I agree, but that's because she thought she was. I think she was knocked out personally, and I think she immediately woke back up and started to recover. And she doesn't remember the in between.
There is no doubt she was knocked out.
Oh, for sure.
She can talk. She was out cold.
Yeah.
Like,
She probably just
woke
doesn't
up.
remember the in between, and she's like, "No, I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm good."
like I just woke up on the ground. I'm fine.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Yeah, that's called being knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, but I think Rose beats Joanna. Joanna. As far as yeah, I don't see anyone in this weight class right now that can probably take out Rose. Now, don't get me wrong, Rose could be dropped on her neck. We've seen it before. You know.
Nunez is a really good fighter too. I think she's going to be up there.
Yeah, she's making her way up. But yeah, as of right now, I think Rose holds on to the championship belt, and I think you just give Wei Li the rematch. I just think you do. And now you have Valentino, and then what? Who did she fight last? Was it Andrade?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so then after that, I don't really know who you put her against. I'm gonna be real.
Lauren Murphy would be a good fight.
Can I see her? Is it gonna give me? I gotta see her last few fights. Oh my goodness, what a picture to show right away. Oh, here we go. She's on a 6-fight win streak. Okay. Oh, that's 40% striking accuracy. She won by split decision. Sub. I like her. Remember her from The Ultimate Fighter?
She always reminds me of like she should be churning butter right now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think she like worked over in. God, I'm blanking on the
Yeah.
the
She
country.
looks like she makes fireless fireplaces.
But yeah, I just don't see anyone in this weight class beating Valentina. Valentina is so dominant, and she proved that with her last fight. And then that gets me back into this right here. Like, there's nobody beating Amanda Nunes.
I don't see anybody, period, beating Amanda Nunes. There's never been a better fighter.
But the only fight I want to see is Valentina versus Amanda. Like, that's the only fight I want to see right now.
I think Amanda Nunes should go up and fight the featherweights.
Oh, okay. You mean the ones that aren't here? Or are you talking about the dudes?
I'm talking about the dudes.
I was like, okay. Let's see who she. I don't think she's beating some of these guys. I'm just gonna be real.
Yeah, I think she could. I think she could beat a 145 or 125er.
So getting from there, we'll move over to the next little events we have going on. So next Saturday, or this coming up Saturday now, we have Jared versus Kelvin. I think Gaslam is taking this fight on short notice as well.
I like watching Gas.
I do
I
too.
think he's a great fighter.
I forgot who was originally supposed to take this fight.
Watching Clay Guida.
Yeah, and Clay Guida's.
He's not the best fighter in the world at all, but he's just fun to watch.
No, and I know what they're doing. Mark Madsen is on a rise. They like him. he's not the greatest yet, but he's undefeated. So I think they're giving him a
I
fighter.
think he's definitely gonna beat Guida. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong, but Guida's
exactly.
still fun to watch. I like watching him.
Exactly. I think they're giving him this fight of like, hey, here's a named fighter that if you beat, you might be a top 10 or top 15, I should say.
I don't really know much about Parker Porter.
Oh, I don't either. Most of these other fighters, I don't know much about, and I'm gonna have to watch them before I learn anything about them.
Those should be a good card.
But yeah, other than that, I don't really know much about that fight card. Then you have Edson Barboza. We were just talking about that a little bit earlier. I think that'll be kind of fun because I think Edson does better at featherweight than lightweight.
I've always liked Kevin Lee, and I want him to do better. And I think he has all the skill. He's just I don't know. It's always like when he gets in there, it's like he makes so many like crucial mistakes.
Yeah,
is the problem. I think if he could learn to fight smarter, he would be a champion. But
true.
I don't think that'll ever happen.
And then I don't know any of these other fighters. You know, like I'm gonna have to learn more about them as the fight card goes on. And then this is the one I'm excited for beginning of next month. You have Derek Brunson, Darren Till, which is going to be an exciting fight. I think Darren Till probably wins. I think he just puts it on him. But Brunson.
I want to see it because I like Darren Till a lot. And I think he has so much room to grow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's still so young. He's like 27 or something like that.
And then the Tom Aspinall fight, I was saying earlier, I like watching Tom Aspinall. He's just funny with his curly hair and his porn mustache. So it was just fun to watch him. And then obviously UFC 266, like we were talking. If you want to bet on that fight when it comes to it, okay, they're fighting Lauren Murphy. Okay, I forgot that was the co-main event. Yeah, I think Valentina destroys her. Let's just be real.
I'm excited for this card, honestly, not for any of those, but just to see Nick Diaz.
Yeah, Nick Diaz. But this is a stacked card. Can we talk about it? One title fight, I think Brian Ortega wins it. Another title fight, I think Valentina wins it. Obviously we haven't seen Nick.
Listen, we don't know about this fight. That's the problem. We have no clue.
Well, we've seen Robbie. We've seen Robbie fight within the last year or two.
He's still not looked as great as he was.
Exactly.
I think if Nick Diaz comes out and he's old Nick Diaz, I think he destroys Lawler. But I mean, that was one amazing fight. Their first fight was amazing.
So then you have Curtis Blades, Rosenstruck. I got Curtis Blades. Rosenstruck is on a 2-fight lose streak right now. And then Jessica Andrade against Cynthia. I don't know much about Cynthia, so I'm going to just have to say Andrade just because she's so strong. Is she? Oh, she won. Okay. I always remember her just slamming Rose on her neck. That was an amazing fight. And then, I don't know much more about all the rest of the fighters. But there's a lot of fights that night. Definitely a lot of fights. And then that's all we got. We don't have any other fights announced yet. So what do you think about all that, Bradley?
Oh, I'm ready for it, man. I think it's going to be a good end of the year for fighting. Yeah,
I think the UFC is going to be exciting. I think they're finally... I will admit, I think COVID brought the popularity back to UFC.
It was only...
So, without us being... I think we went like 6 months without sports once COVID happened, and then UFC came back.
People like to talk shit about casuals and this and that, and it's like the casuals are the ones that make this fucking possible.
Yeah,
what
true.
Are you talking about? There's not that many hardcore fighting fans that are in it. Like we're watching, everything every day, but the casuals that just check out fights when they see a big fighter and everything, that's what fuels the UFC. So I'm excited for it, and I think that it's a good thing that at least the UFC was going on to bring all these new fans in and make these exciting. Because without having all these these different amounts of fans and stuff, especially because it all comes down to America. All the UFC, the MMA in general. That's why this shit. It's hard. Like when if you're in UK or something, you got to watch the shit at fucking 4:30 in the morning.
Appreciate the alert, Melissa. I still need to fix Nightbot. That's my bad. Like my Discord thing don't work either, but we'll fix it. No, I'm glad. I'm excited for the UFC. I'm excited for future events, and I'm excited for boxing. I wanted to talk about a couple of these. It was just announced that Tito Ortiz and Anderson Silva are going to box.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a huge boxing fan. I mean, I like it, but I think Anderson Silva wins.
I do too. Anderson Silva just beat a pro boxer, so like it's.
And Tito's already talking shit. He's like, he thinks he's a piece of shit for making him drop to 195. Like, what the fuck? Like,
It's like, what, dude? That's so dumb.
someone you're 30 pounds overweight, that doesn't
Yeah.
even make sense. Like,
I'll
of course
always
he would say,
love that press conference with Tito Ortiz and Chael Sonnen.
oh,
When
yeah.
he's like, what did he say?
Tigers and black gazelles.
I forgot what he said about he's like the only person.
Oh, yeah. Ex-wife.
Yeah, I was like, something about sucking dicks has been your ex-wife. It was like, oh my God, that was low.
At the time, though, you do know his girlfriend was that, I forget her name now. She was the famous porn star,
Jenna Jameson.
Jenna Jameson.
Yeah.
That's who he was dating, and they
Mhm.
had just broke up. So, like, a really good shot.
It was funny too, because it was like, he's like, we were never married. That was like his response or something. It's like, your ex is like, we were never married. It's like, okay, dude. Like, it's like Tito Ortiz, the famous shit talker, just doesn't have anything to say. So
Tito Ortiz is the worst shit talker to me.
yeah,
So
he
boring.
just said stupid stuff. But other than that, what do you think of, we've talked about it before, but what do you think about the Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley fight? Give me your early predictions.
I don't really think much about it. I think that it could go either way. I mean, it's hard because Jake Paul, we still not seen him really have to box. So who knows?
That's true.
Right? He's not fought a boxer. I think it's stupid of him to try to come out and talk about fighting Canelo. I mean, that's
that's dumb, bro. You're nowhere near that level.
Yeah, and Canelo would destroy him regardless. But
Different weight classes.
Even being smaller. The problem is again, I think that the worst part about it to me is not even that he's fighting people that aren't great boxers, because all boxers do that. It's that he's not only fighting people that aren't boxers, but he's fighting people that are nowhere near his size.
Mhm.
Like on his board, he's like, I'm gonna fight Conor McGregor. Well, he's fucking like 215 pounds,
Yeah.
and Conor McGregor's like 100, and he probably walks around at like 160. And like that's the guy you're calling
Well,
out. And it's like a lot of people don't want to believe that weight matters, but it does.
Well-
Obviously, like someone like my size fighting a 205-pound UFC fighter is a lot different. But like if it'd be like if I fought an unskilled 125er, I'm probably gonna win that fight because you're not gonna have the knockout power over me. And if I can grab you, I'm gonna hold on to you. And it's in boxing, especially if you're talking about skilled fighters. The weight means a lot, especially when you're talking about 20, 30 pounds. Look at the Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather. Logan Paul came nowhere close to beating Floyd Mayweather.
But he didn't get knocked out because of his size.
Because of his size. Now, let's say Logan Paul fought a light heavyweight.
Yeah, he's getting knocked out.
Get knocked the fuck out. And I think the same thing goes for Jake Paul. Even Tyron Woodley, he's a lot bigger than Tyron Woodley.
Oh, I agree.
You looked at
I think it's
next Askren. Not only he was bigger than Ben Askren, but the problem Ben Askren wasn't even in shape.
well, Ben Askren went into that and said he didn't even really train for it. So after the whole ordeal with it, it's like, okay, it was a money grab for Ben Askren. Yeah.
More power to him, whatever. And Tyron Woodley, I think that he is training. I think I would give it to Tyron Woodley.
I am too. As of right now, I'm going to give it to Woodley because I think he's going to train harder than Askren.
Yeah, definitely. And we do know, well, first off, if Woodley loses, it hurts a lot worse than Askren.
Mm-hmm.
Askren, everybody knew that he was the worst.
Well, I think this is what it was with Askren. Why a lot of MMA people had hope for him is like we saw who Ben Askren was as an MMA fighter. He was 19-0 going into that Jorge Masvidal fight. You know what I mean? But he was also a decent fighter. So like, if we thought as long as he went in there with the willingness to win, he could win. But then you saw him on weigh-in day, and you're like, oh, the dude's been sitting on his fucking couch for the last 6 months.
Yeah, well, he just got off of surgery. He just had his hip replaced.
Oh, for sure.
And also, you took away his only weapon.
Yeah, wrestling. No, for sure.
So that away, he's not a great fighter. But Tyron Woodley is a striker. He's mainly a wrestler, but he can throw hands, and he's got a powerful right hand. He's not good with combinations, things like. Or we've never really seen him. We've never seen him box. So who knows? He is getting trained by Floyd Mayweather, though, so that's a good thing for him. We'll see. I believe that I'm gonna put my faith in Tyron Woodley. If I will say this is a tougher fight for Jake Paul. If he wins, more power to him. I'll say, hey, good job, you beat a legit fighter, but it still does not make you a boxer. Now if he fights a boxer, even if he fought Tommy Fury.
That's what I've been trying to say the last 2 minutes.
That would have been a lot better.
No, that's what I was getting into. It's like, one, he called Fury out first. Like let's not forget that. Like Jake Paul called Fury out first, and then the Furies called the Pauls out. Like, hey, like you say you can fight the boxers, well, fight us. And then Jake Paul was like, well, nah, I'm not gonna fight you guys. That's dumb. And then went on to sign him for the same exact card that they're fighting on. Like, I don't know if you know that, but Fury is fighting on that card.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Tommy Fury is fighting on the undercard of the Tyron Woodley Jake Paul fight. So I think that was the crazy part. It's like, yo, you little weasel, you said you didn't even want to do all that, and then you still try and sign him for the fight? Which I think it was probably like, here's what I think. I think they're both smart. They're businessmen. The Furies and the Pauls are businessmen. So I think after that little exchange on Instagram or whatever, they probably contacted each other and was like, yeah. I don't think there's probably beef there. I think, it's probably a money thing, honestly.
Yeah, I think that if Jake Paul is doing it the smart way because he cannot fight boxers. True. And the reason is because if he loses, everything that he has goes away. All that shit talk, because when he loses to a boxer, it's like if he loses to Tyron Woodley. That's why he made it a clause where he gets an immediate rematch.
Yeah, exactly.
If he loses to Woodley, it just shows that, all right, I got beat by Tyron Woodley, who hasn't won a fight in like 4 or 5 fucking years or some shit. Because what has he lost?
Not 4 or 5 years. He's lost 4 or 5 fights. But let's not say. Well,
I mean, what does he fight? Maybe 2 fights a year.
Sure, but it wasn't 5 years ago. It was probably 2020, 2019. Was his last win? His last win? You don't think so? 2019? You don't think was his last win?
Last win was. Let's see.
I don't think it was that long ago. I still think 2019.
2018. So 3 years ago. That was his last win.
Yeah, I mean, still, like,
he hasn't even been around since then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the crazy part. Well, also that Luque fight was like, it was over so quick. I don't think he really had a chance to even do anything.
If he beats Jake Paul, though, that shows you Jake Paul's boxing skill.
Yeah, Jake Paul's a good boxer. I'm not like hating on him for that.
But if he loses against Tyron Woodley, that shows Jake Paul's boxing.
Yeah, I agree.
Because if he's losing against a fucking wrestler that hasn't won a fight in 3 years, has not even won a round in 3 years, and that looks really bad on him. So it's smart for him to keep going against some guys. He needs to not fight boxers for as long as humanly possible.
Well, I thought we would get into the what was it? Internet ask question. I don't even remember what it's called. But I was gonna let you handle this part of the stuff.
You want to take a quick break? Let me run to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, I'll take a quick break, dude. I'll just talk to everybody if anyone's in chat. I don't know if anyone's here, but
yeah, I'll run to the bathroom. Be right back.
Cool. Well, I thought we would watch this video while we were waiting.
All right, yeah, let's do it.
Our thief gets a bold lesson in pain, and when he tries to steal
a
professional fighter's car, he learned one UFC fighter can throw hands inside and, more importantly, outside of the octagon. Jordan Williams shared this wild surveillance video on his Instagram page that shows him stopping a guy from taking his car from a Denver gas station. Williams ran out, yanked the guy out of his car, and then threw a few good punches, rather, for good measure. Before he ran away. Williams says he only regrets one thing.
It's like that guy that tried to steal Derek Lewis's car.
But look how casual that was. It looked natural. I was like, yeah, that's his car.
On his Instagram page.
That was so natural.
A guy from taking his car from a Denver gas station.
That's so funny. That reminds me of I can't remember what year, but it was maybe early high school, late middle school. But I was riding bikes with like Skylar Suddeth and some other people back in the day. Like we were just riding our bikes around, and we stopped at that Sonic on I'm forgetting all the roads. Manchester Expressway, going towards the school. And there's that Sonic across from the Circle K and the Pizza Hut, all those corners, you know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. We were chilling at the Sonic, like looking over to the Circle K, and this lady gets out of her car to walk inside, and we noticed this dude just walk out and then get in her car and drive away. And we just like didn't think anything of it until the lady came out screaming where her car was. And I'm like, holy crap, we just watched someone get her car stolen. Like, that was crazy.
People, when they pull in my parking lot, they park right in my driveway and just like think it's cool to get out and start walking around. They go to the place next to me. So a few weeks back, this guy just pulls up, parks there, and then just walks next door. And I couldn't find him. I was going to tell him to move his car, but he left his keys in the car, so I just moved his car.
That's so funny.
And when he came back over there, he starts freaking out. And I was like, nah, dude, you were parked in my driveway. I moved it. And he's like, oh, thank the Lord. He's like, I've never been so happy to see a white man in my life. That's what he told me. He's like, I got so scared because my detailers were standing by the road and he thought that they stole his car.
Oh, man. That's a bummer.
But yeah, they smooth with it.
So there's an app. What's the app called?
All right. It's from the YouTube series. It's
Barstool.
Ask the Internet.
Yeah, Barstool. Yeah. I guess sports, but they got Barstool everything now.
Yeah. But it's Ask the Internet. Is what it is.
And I used to love those videos. I love the one with like Tom Segura and all those. So.
Oh yeah. So they should be pretty cool. So.
I don't know any of these, by the way.
I don't either. I'm just pulling it up. So we'll go to the first one.
Okay.
All right. So first one. In order for you to live, you have to kill a blind child who has the greatest voice of our generation. Are you killing the kid?
To live?
To live, yeah.
If I got, yeah, he's done.
Exactly.
Like,
what are you talking about?
Like what?
Being blind's just a plus. That's like what are you talking about?
I'm sorry, the kid's got to go. It's my life, yeah, the kid's got to go.
He wouldn't even see it coming.
Yeah, oh my God.
Yeah. I would take him out in a heartbeat. What are you talking about? I don't even know why it matters that he's the voice of our generation. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that dude's gone. All right, sorry, blind guy.
First one's easy. Second one. You have to pick one food for your best friend to chew up and spit in your mouth. What food do you choose?
My God. Oh, fuck. Oh, man.
That's gross.
All right, you choose what you're spitting
pudding.
in my mouth. I'll choose what I'm spitting in your mouth.
I would choose pudding.
You're going to spit pudding in my mouth?
Well, I
you
would
want me
that
to
spit in my mouth.
Okay, so you want what I'm spitting in your mouth.
Because it wouldn't be too gross. Like, it's like if you chew up pizza and spit in my mouth, it's going to, I know it's chewed up pizza, but pudding is still going to be pudding.
All right, how about this? You got to choose something that's like, it has to be broken down, so no pudding.
Then an apple, because that's just giving me free apples.
Okay, that's so gross. Oh, what am I going to choose? Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that avocado.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some guacamole, dude.
Some liquidy avocado squirted in your mouth. I feel you.
That one's gross. Never. I don't want that. I don't want anything baby bird fed into my mouth.
Oh, dude, not by you. If it was a supermodel or something, I'm saying spit it all in my mouth. Go ahead and get that fucking banana. Oh yeah,
So
baby
gross.
bird it right in. I'll slurp it right out. All right, next one. If you could have an endless supply of anything, what would it be?
I'll let you answer that first. Give me a second.
Endless supply of anything. I'm gonna say I don't know. Water.
I mean, it's so easy to be like money. You know,
Electricity.
Electricity.
Choose that. Nice
Endless supply of Red Bulls. I'll take Red Bulls because I enjoy my Red Bulls, and then with all the other ones, I'll just sell them. Now I'm selling Red Bulls.
Yeah, there you go. You sell them all. All right, next one. If you could live anyone's life with anyone's body, who would it be?
Ooh. Anyone's life with anyone's body. Well, I think I just assume you're just living their life, but whatever. Here's a good one. I'm gonna take, except for like the last little bit, I'm gonna take Prince.
Prince? Well, he's dead, so.
Yep, but his life that he lived.
Want to be dead?
I just want to, the life he lived, I want to take that.
I'm gonna choose. I met this guy one time named Pete, and he seemed like he had his shit figured out and everything, so I'm gonna choose him.
Okay. Good job, Pete. Pete Davidson?
Yeah. No. He's just a guy. I met him at a gas station one time, but he just seems like he had his shit together.
Was he asking for money?
No, he had money. He was paying, so
Okay.
I don't know. Just something about him. It just told me, like, this is a guy I'd want to be like, so I'd probably choose him. I think he's living it up right now. All right. Would you rather give the first 90% of a blowjob or the last 10?
Oh, fuck, dude.
Easy question. I'm going the first 90.
Oh, no.
I'm going first 90 because here's the thing. I'm not trying to get that gravy. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my God, dude.
But I think that if you did it good enough, the first 90% would go pretty quickly. I mean, how long does a blowjob really take, right? I think I could knock out the first 90% in at least 2 minutes, and then jump off and let whoever slurp up the rest. But I'm not trying to catch a hot load. Because that's the gay part. You can suck a dick, but you can't finish.
I'll take the first.
blowjob.
I'll
That's what
take the
makes it
first
gay.
90% as well. Because I don't know if like, I don't know, dude. Nah, hell no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That part's not. You can suck a dick. It's not gay, but when you finish sucking a dick, that's pretty gay.
I say it all the time. I'm not saying I'm not gay. I'm just saying I haven't seen a dick I wanted to suck yet.
I mean, I've seen a couple, but I haven't followed.
That's true. You know, that's actually pretty true. You've ever seen like, wow, that's a good looking penis right there.
That's a nice dick right there. I wouldn't mind touching that at least one time, one stroke. I'd do that.
Anything else after that? No. All right, next question. Next question.
All right, that's a dumb question. Would you rather sit on a dick and eat a cake, or sit on a cake and eat a dick?
So I say this all the time, and I've asked this question a lot. In only one of those scenarios do you get to enjoy a cake. I'm just saying, I'm eating the cake.
How big is the dick?
As big as the cake.
How well? I mean, what kind of, is it a one layer? Is it like
use your imagination?
Cake? Is it a wedding cake? Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, it's a wedding cake.
Oh, then I'm eating the dick.
I'm eating the cake. I'm eating the cake.
Like and who's the guy? Is it a black dude or an Asian guy?
You're just asking too many questions. You just got to answer the question.
Because I need to know that.
No, you don't need to know nothing.
If it's a smaller
the question
penis,
is laid out behind you. If they wanted you to know all this other info, they would be like, "Hey, yeah, it's a person who has this." No, it's
dick.
Choose.
And I'm gonna choose eat the dick because I don't want to sit on it because that's gonna.
I'm eating a cake.
And it also doesn't say I gotta finish them off either. This could go into that other one. I'll get 90% of the way.
No, you have to. You have to eat the dick.
Like eat it with a fork and knife.
Yeah,
like,
I don't care how you do it, but you got to eat it.
Oh yeah, if I just gotta eat it, do I gotta eat it raw or can I cook it?
Raw. Yeah, raw.
Oh, okay, well give me a little hot sauce. I'll go to town, bro. Give me a spork and I'll show you how to make it work.
All right, Dahmer.
Hey dude, it ain't my fault. I ain't fucking sitting on no dicks. If you had to watch one category of porn for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh man, I'll just say amateur. I think that's easy. Yeah, I think that's easy. It's a broad, very broad.
All right, I'm gonna say black girls.
By the way, this was 18 plus channel. There's an 18. It's an 18 plus channel. Just let everyone know.
Would you rather have to tell your mom everything sexual you've done or show her your entire porn history?
Wait, say that again?
Definitely.
Say that again?
All right. Would you rather have to tell your mom everything sexual you've done or have to show her your entire porn history?
Oh, I'm just showing my history.
Oh, hell no.
I'm
not showing anybody that. Nope.
I don't have everything. I don't have a history that's like, Brad, I need you, if I die, delete it. I don't have that type of history. I'm not in.
Because I'll look at some wild shit. I'll see some of like, what? People make porn out of this? I'm looking it up. And I'm not saying it's everything. Like, I'm not out there, jerking off to amputee porn, but I'm not saying I didn't look up amputee porn, is what I mean. And but also, I haven't done anything crazy sexually. Like, what am I going to tell my mom? Like, yeah, I had sex missionary style once. I had sex doggy style once.
Well, I don't want to talk about the time I shoved the toothbrush holder up my butt in the bathroom. Like, I'm not trying to talk about that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm not doing that. They're like, yeah, this girl shit in my mouth one time and then I fucking pissed on her. I think it's nothing like that. So I'm saying I'll tell her what I did because I don't want her to see. Because anybody that looks at my porn history is going to think I'm crazy.
Go through my history. I don't even care.
All right. Let's skip that one. Could you beat Tom Cruise in a fight?
Yes.
Yes, easy. He's like 5'2".
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
I'll fuck him up.
With no training.
Yeah, fuck that. All right. If you got $10,000 a day for every day you didn't masturbate, how many days could you last?
Forever.
Yeah, dude, I'm going to say at least 6.
Oh, I'd last forever. Like, even if I had...
Well,
listen to this. I would immediately go to a state where you could legally get escorts, and every time I wanted to have that urge to masturbate, I'm gonna pay someone to do it, and now I get to keep.
Oh, you can still have sex?
Yeah, they just said masturbate. It didn't say anything about sex.
Well, that's not too bad then.
That's what I'm saying. I'm a rich man. I'm getting $10,000 a day.
Oh yeah, for $10,000 a day, man, $20, and I'll get that shit taken care of.
That's an easy question. That's super easy. Next.
With $10,000 a day, I can
Like-
pick up some pretty nice looking females. Would you rather only be able to jerk off to naked girls you know, or fully clothed?
I get what you're saying.
Fully clothed porn stars.
I think at that point it's just imagination, and I know some people I don't want to see naked, so I'll just go with fully clothed porn stars.
I'm gonna say people I know because girls I know, because it doesn't say that.
Does it say
that-
girls
I mean,
or is it people? I thought you said people.
No, it's girls.
Oh, okay.
I mean, but it doesn't matter. It's not like saying you have to jerk off to this.
Well, either
one
way,
girl.
I'm just
It's
gonna
anybody you
I'm
know.
gonna keep porn stars because I don't know. Because what if it's a random person? You know, just some random person throughout your like your mom. Now you got your mom today.
Well, it doesn't say that you can't choose. It doesn't
Well,
say
I'm
you
a-
can't. There's
you
not
know.
a list of people.
I don't want the list.
You can jerk off to Cindy from the Circle K. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm gonna take the fully clothed.
Yeah, fuck that. That's just jerking off. That's weirder. That's way weirder. Like just jerking off to women wearing
All right,
clothes. That's perfect.
I got a question for you, right?
Okay.
And this is probably on there. I think it's actually from Barstool. But your mom and your girlfriend switch bodies, right? Their minds, they switch consciousness, right? The only way to switch them back is to have sex with one of them. Which one do you have sex with?
I'm gonna say my girlfriend.
Your mom and your girlfriend's body?
Yeah, because if I have sex with her that way, then I don't have to have the trauma of having sex with my mom. I'll let her keep that trauma. Yeah, I'll let her
Okay.
hold on to that, and I'll be good.
Okay. All right. I like that. That's a good
I'll
answer.
be like, just don't talk to me. You know what I'm saying?
Alright.
Don't speak about it again.
I like that answer. I won't hate on
All
that.
right.
Yeah, let's get a few more in there.
Would you rather change genders every time you sneeze, or not be able to tell the difference between a donut and a baby?
Wait, say that one more time.
All right. Would you rather change genders every time you sneeze, or not be able to tell the difference between a donut and a baby?
Listen, I'm non-binary anyways most of the time, so yeah, let's just change genders.
I'm saying change genders because that might be kind of fun.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
I've always wanted to experience that. So I'm gonna definitely choose the sneezing thing. All right. Would you rather have one giant dick for an arm, or all your fingers be dicks?
Whoa! Oh man!
Here's my only question
Oh,
though:
no.
Are the dicks working? Is it just a dick, or does it like have the same sensation and everything?
I'm gonna say it's same sensation. Like it doesn't. Whatever it is doesn't work. Like your right arm is just a flappy or hard.
Yeah, it's a big old floppy dick. I'm gonna say.
And
fingers
imagine,
then.
I'm gonna say fingers as well, because imagine
You
when
can
like
still use them.
exactly.
Plus, imagine how good it would feel anytime you picked anything up.
Not only that, imagine if like in class, you know, in school, you get an erection, and all of a sudden your arm just at an attention, just like, yes, Dalton, did you have a question? No,
Yeah,
I
it'd be
didn't."
weirder. You're just like, plus you're just sitting there like, you know, just. I would enjoy that. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
I could have sex 5 times minimum.
That's true. That's true. That's so crazy.
I'm going. Fingers.
I'm going fingers. All right, give me one more, Brad. Make it a good one.
All right. See.
Don't overthink it.
All right. Would you watch a porn with the hottest girl from your high school if the dude in it was your dad?
No, because you know my dad. No.
Also, there wasn't a lot.
Also, I was about to say there was no like hot girls in high school, so it was like no.
I would still say yes because I've never met my dad, so I don't think it'd be okay. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
It's like, who's that?
I'd be like, oh, that guy looks kind of good. He's got a nice dick on him.
Yeah, that's gonna be a no from me, dog.
Yeah, I would do it.
That's so funny. All right. That's some good questions. I like that. We're gonna have to come back. I might have to buy that game.
Yeah, so I did the starter pack, but there's like all these other ones that are probably like better. They have sports, they have all kind of stuff.
So let's we talked about doing this. I know this is going to be weird getting from the questions we just asked to what we're about to do, but let's do a Harry Potter movie tier list, you know. For anyone who doesn't know, Brad and I used to live together back in the day, and we were broke boys, you know. This is like right out of high school. I was working at a gas station. Brad was working at a gas station, but then started selling cars. But we were still, you know, kind of broke before Brad started popping off. And we didn't have cable or even internet. So
In a box set though.
Yeah, what we did have is pretty much all the Harry Potter movies. And a couple of the movies, and I don't know why they didn't do it for all of them, but a couple of them, like I think it was the second one, or maybe the
It was the
third one.
second.
Yeah, the second one.
I still can't watch it to the.
So once the movie ended, it would immediately just replay itself. Like it wouldn't go to a title screen or anything like that. It would immediately start over from the very
It was
top.
just on a fucking loop.
So that movie was always on a loop in our living room because at any point I could just sit down and watch, because we didn't have like a bunch of DVDs or anything. So Harry Potter was played a lot at our house. And I know Brad probably has PTSD from it.
I still don't watch the second one. I skip past it.
All right, so let's go through them. I thought, I'll give my ranking, you give your ranking, and I think we'll just average it out. How about that?
All right, so pick your all right, let's just start with Sorcerer's Stone.
Yeah, I think we go from Sorcerer's Stone. If we go from for me, I think it's a solid A tier movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna agree with you. I mean, it's hard because I don't think any of these movies are bad.
Sure. I mean, we could even probably get rid of D, like if we want. Yeah. We'll just get rid of D. Yeah, so like the best, average. Because here's my thing. I think Sorcerer's Stone is above average. If
we probably should have just kept D. We could have just made a list.
Sure.
Like top to bottom. You add 2 more cells. Yeah, because there's 7 movies.
Yeah. Well, oh well, that's true. But some of them I equally, like I said, the reason why I put this as A is I think it's above average. I think the story's better than most of the other movies.
I'm gonna put that, just not that it's a bad movie, but I would put it at C.
C?
In with the other movies, yeah. Because I think it's a great movie when I was that age, but going back and rewatching it, because I watched it with Ariana not too long ago, it doesn't hold up as much as the other ones.
I can still rewatch it, and I think it's because it's one of the few series of movies where the groundwork was laid so well.
Oh, like, it was. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The character development, everything was laid so well.
Yeah, going back and rewatching it, I think that it definitely had a lot of downtime.
So these aren't in order. I'm noticing. So now we got
the Chamber of Secrets.
Chamber of Secrets.
I'm gonna say C for me.
C for you, and I'm also gonna agree with that. Like I think that's one of the
weaker movies.
It is. And moving over to The Prisoner of Azkaban. Now this is the one
I'm gonna say S.
S?
Yeah, I don't know how I'd rank it against everything, but Prisoner of Azkaban is one of my favorite Harry Potter movies.
I was gonna put it at A or B, so I'm gonna leave it at A.
Okay.
Because it's one of my more favorite ones. And then the fourth movie, The Goblet of Fire, which I think
I love too. I think that would be about an A for me.
See, that's S for me, just because of the Triwizard Tournament.
Well, I like The Prisoner of Azkaban more, so I would put. That's what I was saying. If it was like an actual like ranking list, but I like the Prisoner of Azkaban more than I like the Goblet of Fire.
Okay, and I'm the opposite. I like Goblet of Fire more than Prisoner of Azkaban. Yeah. So
but either way, they're still at the top of my list, both of them.
So then we have, I think it's this one, The Order of Phoenix. I think that's this one. Yeah, because I see Mad Eye. No, that'd be that one.
Yeah, it's hard to read.
I'm just gonna say this is The Order of the Phoenix.
Okay. I don't know. That would be an A for me too.
Really? It's C for me. It's my least favorite out of all the movies.
I like it. I just like it more than the first
2. Here's my reasoning, and I know you didn't read the books. The book was so great. Oh, you did? The Order of the Phoenix books was so amazing that it's also the longest. But the movie didn't do it justice. It just didn't do it justice. It didn't have the things that I was looking for from the book, and they skipped a lot of it. So for me, that's why it's C tier. But if you think it's S tier, we can put it B or A.
We'll put it B since you think C.
Okay. And then we'll get into The Half-Blood Prince, which I believe is this one, maybe.
Yeah, see, that's why this is hard, because the last 3 movies I love.
Yeah, I agree. All 3 of them.
I think that I would put it
Half-Blood
I
Prince.
guess since we're gonna have to put, I would put A.
I agree, it's A tier. I don't think it's S tier. I think the Half-Blood Prince book is the best book. I think it is S tier. It is by far the best book. But I think when it comes to the movies, there's a lot of stuff left out. Also, if you've rewatched the movie, I don't know if you know this, but Daniel Radcliffe talks about during the filming of that movie, he was like blackout drunk during the entire filming of it. So knowing that, watching that movie again, it's like, oh my God, I see it. Like, it's kind of funny. Like, especially the point where he's supposed to, like, he drinks the liquid luck. You know what I mean? And he's supposed to, like, act drunk. He said he just got fucking drunk and, like, went and... So that, I think that's hilarious. So then we have...
I was going to say the last two are hard. I'm going to put both of them S tier.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're both S tier.
Because I don't think you can really exclude either of them because, you know, the first one sets up the second one, and the second one was just... It was great because it was a great movie and it wrapped up every other movie.
I was about to say, it's so... I'm glad what they did here, that it was such a good book, and there was a... If you read the book and you watch the movies, that first movie, that is only like not even half of the book, if we're being real. But there's just so much that fucking happens with the wedding in the beginning, with them running around, with Ron leaving, and all of that. It just became so much. And then you end it with Dobby dying. So it becomes a lot, right? Like it's so amazing. And that's why it's S tier to me, because of how emotional it was. I think that is by far
I agree.
That the part 1 of 7 is the best acting.
Shed a tear.
Yep.
And I loved Luna in it.
It was
all
just
the characters played it up. The only thing that I didn't like was just the very ending of it. It was just weird to me.
Dobby dying, or are you talking about this part 2?
Part 2, you know,
yeah,
like where they're like all on the train platform and
no, for sure. And I've talked about this before with people. It's like, it was a little corny, right? It was a little corny, but I mean, I don't think it was bad. I think that as a Harry Potter fan, that's what you want to see, right? Oh, everything worked out. Obviously, people died in that last 2 movies of the book. You know, you had one of the Weasley twins dying. There was actually like 30 something deaths of main characters or I should say side characters from that last book, including Hedwig and everything. So that's the reason why I like it too, because they did so well with the death. I think they should have.
I just think they did it without that scene.
Sure.
That's the only thing.
But you paid homage to Severus and Albus and everybody, you know.
We were fucking somebody.
But I think that's pretty well. I think I agree. The second one is probably the least. I like this tier list, is what I'm saying. I like where this is at, and this is probably the order I'd watch them in if like we were just watching movies.
Yeah, I went back and watched some with Ariana, and it was hard to get through the first 2, just because, again, they didn't age as well. Because I mean, they're a lot lower budget. You know, it's not a. The other ones just they really show off the magical world of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
For the first, I mean, and it's just they're a product of their time. It's just
that's why I say I like the first one. Rewatching the first one, knowing everything, it's like, oh, it's not as. There's no shock value. It's like, but like I said, the groundwork was so good.
I remember when it came out, watching that first one, though, I was like, holy shit. You know, just because I had read
tapping
the
bricks and going into Diagon Alley, like that was amazing for me. That's all I wanted to do as a kid. Was I wanted to be a wizard, Harry.
Yeah, I'll be down there. I'm going to Orlando next weekend for
my
little sisters.
Nice.
Yeah. That's what we're doing. We're going to Universal, so I'll get to see the Harry Potter world for the first time.
Well, take me some pictures, and if you give me a souvenir, I'll pay you. I'll pay you.
I'll get you one. I'll get you a fucking wand or something. You know,
yeah, that's what I want. A wand or something. A cloak? Give me an owl, bro. That would be sick. If I could have an owl.
Dude, I got an owl guy. I don't need to go to Harry Potter World for that.
Okay.